Hello everyone, this is our first video of 2026. With me today, my friend FIDE master Vladimir Chernikov.
Ciao.
And we're gonna try to discuss news of the past week, what was going on. Today we're gonna discuss new rules of FIDE about 45 plus 30 control. That's the first news. Then we're gonna discuss a tournament in India, which was like Tata Steel stuff, where Anand participated after, uh, I don't know, a lot of time not playing seriously in chess. Then there will be a women rapid and blitz European Championship, which was pretty interesting with a lot of intrigues in there. And for the dessert, there will be Vaikanzaya tournament, one of the biggest tournaments of the year. We're gonna discuss who's gonna participate, who do we think will win. So let's begin. And the first news that you can see on the screen is that FIDE updates rating regulations to include faster time controls for major events. Earlier, as I understand, to fulfill the norm in the tournament, you needed to play with a longer control. Usually everyone played 90 plus 30, and sometimes there would be like some increment after move 40 and stuff like that. What FIDE says that right now they like allowing 45 minutes plus 30 seconds for each move control, and it can be used in open tournaments, it can be used for fulfilling norms, and yeah, that's right now a standard. What do you think, Vladimir, about it? Is it good, bad for you, in your
I
opinion?
think it's great. I'm very bad at fast time controls, but in general, it allows organizers to make more tournaments. Let's say in 1 week, you can even make 2 tournaments, like one Monday to Wednesday, Thursday, then another one, and then you make it 9 rounds, and you can have more chances to get the norm. Let's say, I don't know if it's possible even, but maybe like some organizers will do tournaments like, let's say, 10 days from Friday to Sunday next week, and like 2 tournaments during this time with the same players. Let's say 2 close tournaments. Why not? And I mean, in general, it will make probably easier to play. Even like what people say, the double rounds or triple rounds that sometimes are played will be much easier to handle. So,
I don't know. It's like because I know that there is a regulation that you can, to fulfill the norm, you can't play more than 2 rounds a day. Is it like right here? I mean, they
by the way,
extended it.
probably it's like that if they didn't intend it. But still, I mean, let's say it will be easier to handle the double rounds, because here there's one organizer in Spain that always make like double round tournaments for the norm, and at least like it's not the same, still 60 plus 30 and 45 plus 30 difference is like very small, like it's half hour, but still, I mean, it helps.
No, I mean, what I'm trying to point out, because, yeah, it was more stressful before with 90 plus 30, and right now it's like they're cutting it down, I mean, 2 times, but it's basically the same amount of rounds you need to play per day, which going to be 2, so
Yeah,
it's not
but
going to
I mean,
accelerate the pace of the tournaments. You will still play for the same amount of days, the same amount of tournaments. Yes, like playing 2 rounds a day, 45 plus 30 is a lot easier, but on the other hand, it's more or less the same amount of days.
Okay, but there are some advantages. For example, the second round of the tournament. Moreover, I'm this kind of player that I always struggle in second round of the day, and like I can say that it's logical, will be more easier in one hand. In the other hand, maybe it will be even harder, because, for example, let's say you start round at 10 o'clock, you then finish it like at 12, make it, and then next round is
not
at
12,
5 p.m.
but like
12:30.
12:30. Well,
But
like
then next
1
round
p.m.
is at 5 p.m., let's say. What you do you do if you don't live in the same city, let's say, right? If you, like me, for example, I live near Valencia, I go there, I can't go home, and then I need to be like outside for 5 hours doing I don't know what. Maybe it's even more tiring, I don't know. In another hand, let's say if the typical tournaments, let's say the typical Spanish tournament, 90 plus 30, right? Okay, I will play definitely more tournaments, if even though it's like 1 full week, but if instead of 90 plus 30, it will be 45 plus 30, I'll be like very glad, because I mean, I don't want to look at chessboard for 4 hours and to receive at the end of the week like 100 euros for this. No thanks, right? But if it's shorter, I mean, it gives me more time. Sometimes I have the point that, let's say, if tournament will start at 6 or at 7 instead of 5, let's say, it will be better, simply because it will end in the same time more or less, but I'll be able to give some more lessons. Or if it starts at 5 but it finished, let's say, at 7:30 instead of 9 or 9:30 even sometimes, it's obviously much better. I can go home and, like, rest for a while. I mean, it's just 10
I
times
don't know.
better.
It's like it reminds me of the tournament in our major city with Vladimir, where we came from, and when we played like I don't know, a region or a district championship. When let's say you have 3 days, 3 rounds each day, and you play with like 1 hour on the clock or 1 hour and 5 minutes to calculate the rating for this purpose, and you like playing all these rounds. It like reminds me all these tournaments. I mean, that's okay.
Turns out the guys from my city, from Federation, they saw this kind of progress like years before it, and yeah, now it just Federation come to the point that it's ideal time control. But I mean, I like that it's at least has increment. I don't like tournaments without increment.
Yeah, it's like I don't like it honestly very much because first of all, 55 plus 30, you cannot think that much. So it starts reminding.
You for sure don't like it, Vladislav.
Yeah.
You for sure don't like
Yeah.
it with your playstyle.
But I mean, I don't care whether it's gonna be 45 plus 30 or it's gonna be like 2 hours plus 30 with a lot of increments. I will still be in the time trouble regardless, frankly saying, yeah. But the point is, right now, because before it's like 90 plus 30 or 90 plus 30 plus 30 minutes after 40's move, and everyone plays in this like routine, more or less everyone in the same conditions. But right now it will be like split on 2 parts. One, organizers will play tournaments 45 plus 30, and other ones will play as before 90 plus 30. So like kinda requirements are the same to fulfill the norm, but I mean that's a way different time controls. They're absolutely different because 90 plus 30 and 45 plus 30 is a lot of like differences and it changes a lot. So basically you can get the same result or title, but for a like completely different effort. I don't know, it like makes it a little bit weird.
I know also it's very good for organizers. Maybe there will be more tournaments or hopefully more prizes, because I mean you simply need to pay less to the like arbiters and things because they'll waste less time, let's say, for
Yeah,
what they'll
maybe.
be doing.
But I guess they're trying to implement it because of all of these complaints that long chess is boring, short chess is fun, and they want to
It's
like
true.
decrease to make more money, which is like okay, but yeah, I don't know. I stand with like Wesley So, who said like, I mean, I like classical chess. I like, I
Why?
mean, this matches
So likes classical chess.
because
What he
you.
said.
I mean, you mean what the Wesley So said?
Yeah.
I mean, he said that he just like likes it traditional way when like he grew up watching all this Kasparov, Karpov, Anand games, and it was like very. I mean, why he loved chess in the first place, and I kind of agree with him because I mean it's interesting. First of all,
I mean,
on your own to think.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for interrupting. But okay, what I was trying to say, it's like, first of all, interesting to play longer control because you can think, you can calculate things, and watching sometimes can be also kind of interesting. But right now, because, I mean, all of these TikToks, everyone, like, I don't know, cannot watch more than 10-second videos, like, we need some faster controls and adjust, and that kind of, I don't know, ruins all the fun of, like, chess nature. But I mean, maybe I'm wrong.
But
it's like
for me, I'll
down
say
below.
that I think that very top players like Wesley So, they will still be late to switching to this time control. I think I know they did kind of test it in a women Olympiad or what it's called that was handled in Spain in Linares, and there they applied this 45 plus 30 and they decide, wow, it's cool. But okay, I mean, I don't think that like let's say Gukesh in the World Championship. I mean, still I think like 5-10 years, maybe a little bit less. But in general, why, as they said before, why they implement this longer time control for us to have like very beautiful games where chess players play very strong, etc., in very high level, like top 10. I can believe in it, but let's say for like amateur players, let's say, or for people that we just play like simple opens, for us it's just much better. But I mean, because the tournaments are just full of bots that study theory and like go like with a flow, like with an engine, and boom, and then it's drawing move 30. Well, we go home, nice, and like.
I mean, if both of the players know the theory well, they can do it with 45 plus 30 anyway. But if one person challenges another, then anyway, you would have to think how to figure out how to play and need to show skills.
I mean, at least I'll not struggle 4 hours to make a draw versus some kind of these players. I'll do it in 2 hours and I'll go home earlier. I mean, much better.
I mean, arguable. But okay, let's go next. News probably. So yeah, let's try to switch. Okay, next news is about Tata Steel Chess India Rapid and Blitz, where Anand participated. The full list of participants you can see on the screen. In the Rapid tournament, Nihal Sarin took over with 6.5 points. There were a lot of other strong players like Erigaisi, Niemann, Praggnanandhaa. And what's marvelous, Anand took a part in this tournament, and he scored 6 out of 9 with such a very, strong lineup, I would say, with a lot of players from the candidates tournament like Praggnanandhaa, VE, that's it. But like a lot of other strong players, for example, Erigaisi could easily qualify. Vidit used to be a candidate, and like lots of very strong players nowadays. And with all of that, Anand managed to score 6 out of 9. What can you say, Vladimir? Did it surprise you or not at all?
I mean, to me, it's surprising, to be honest. But it's true that Anand was a very strong player, right? It's true that it's kind of good that he maintained his very good form. But in general, I mean, it's not surprising also in the other hand because, new generation is like, how you call it politely? Like, they're not that strong as before, I would say. That's why it's kind of another hand.
That's you're just getting old. As me, the same. It's like usually, let's say in football, people like I don't know before our age saying that I don't know like who was the goat, like Van Basten and etc. 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 Then and right now they're saying like, okay, your football stars are nothing. All of this Drogba, Ibrahimovic, stuff like that, Rooney, that's all bad. Or for example, right now I'm complaining. I don't know who the guys right now playing all of this Lamine Yamals and stuff like that. Football degrading. So the same in chess. It seems like it, but not always. It's true.
No, but we can recognize, let's say, for example, Magnus Carlsen is clearly a very good player, right? And it's kind of our day still. But like his opponent scores them. Like, I mean, still, to be honest, like if I don't know, I didn't check like bookmakers and stuff, but for sure, if we'll look at the candidates tournament, the favorite to win it will be Caruana. That is like, I don't know, already guys that was there when I was a kid, and like where their stars, like where they are. And then Hikaru will be in top 3, 4 for sure in the according to bookmakers, like what where the youngsters are.
But on the other hand, if you look at 2018 lineup, who played candidates and who plays right now, they are like completely different people. Only like Caruana, as you mentioned, and Nakamura, and I'm not so sure if Nakamura even played before. And right now, like everyone is different. Like no Kramnik, no Aronian, everyone get old.
It is true, but there is like no Nepomniachtchi, no Vashier Lahrap, let's say. But I mean, are these people are really better? Let's say, like look around in this candidate. Say, Wei, is he much better than MVL or is it
probably if they qualified, then yes, I would say.
No, because I mean, you need to have a lot of luck. I mean, if we just were talking about, let's say, Blue Baum, also, what are you saying to me?
I'm thinking that you don't need to be a lot of luck when you're on a point when you can't win like 2,500 player during the World Cup. It's not about luck. It's just about I don't know.
I mean, and what about our current like world champion? What I mean, he also cannot win it against a lot of players, to be honest. But I mean, because I think just that level is more or less the same. Maybe like let's say you can say yes, they had better year than other players, but objectively, I mean, I don't think that like Wei or like Wei maybe because he is a Blitz very good player, but let's say take some random player like Giri. Let's say Giri versus Nepomniachtchi. Just recently, Nepomniachtchi just annihilated him in some Blitz match. Okay, Blitz Rapid and something like that match. But I mean, it's kind of the same level. MVL, Giri, when they play, you say 50-50. Yeah, I mean, they're not better.
I mean, right here in such tournaments, you also look and it's like 50-50. But yeah, I don't know. I'm like really, I'm not like that surprised that Anand played well, but I'm still happy that he can maintain this level. How old is he? Yeah, like sure. 55 or something?
56.
56. Yeah. And like Ivanchuk is the same age, but he's like at 2600 right now. He'll play in Vaikanze Challengers. And it's just like truly impressive to hold this level at this age. Like not so many people who has, I don't know if anybody could hold it at 56 years old. Only Smyslov comes to mind, which qualified for candidates when he was around 60. And we don't count like Lasker or Steinitz because it's like, back then there were not so many players, but yeah, it's like truly impressive. And right here, Nihal Sarin, managed to win it kind of unexpectedly because, I mean, looking at the lineup, I wouldn't put him in favorite.
Yeah, for sure. It's very unexpected.
Yeah, and it also like warms my soul because I made a draw in classical chess against him and even scored higher than him in the final standing. So at least some good news.
Just your soul, Ladislav, because for me, like Nihal Sarin is not even like top player. Like I mean, if top like top 10,
I mean,
let's say, and
he's
I don't believe
almost
he'll ever be.
he's almost 2700s plus. Yeah, he's very good at
No, I mean,
fast
obviously he's in
controls.
like top 30, top 20, and so on.
But yeah, let's
look,
say Hans Niemann, who's like usually complaining that he's not invited to any tournaments right here, like result speaks for itself. Yeah, all the top three
after
players.
this tournament, I will just admit him in the economy class, like because literally doesn't deserve more, to be honest.
Yeah, but right here, let's say VE, who is like gonna play in candidates pretty soon, and Vakanze right here didn't perform well. Prague the same. Prague like not playing super well recently. Only like London tournament before. I mean, in December, but it was like not that competitive. But okay, let's go to the next one, and next one gonna be European Rapid and Blitz Women Championship, and I will not even like stop it. Just a second. Let's change the scene. Here we are, and it was a pretty interesting tournament. Like first it was Blitz, and then it was Rapid. Very weird order, in my opinion. I mean, did you see anything like that? I do not recall it because
I don't know also what is like. I mean, it's okay. I mean, it's absolutely okay to do it this way, but just I mean, we are used to go from the slower time controls to the faster.
Yeah, and in general, it's like also practical choice because in lots of, let's say, opens or tournaments like that, you leave the Blitz for the last day and start it early to finish early to go home earlier and like not really spend another day sitting there. And in this tournament, I might, mispronounce names, but Elin Roberts, who is like young Dutch star, who's like playing pretty good chess recently, played against Bella Khatanishvili from Georgia, and she was ahead. And the only way Roberts could score the first place in the last round in Blitz is to take over and win on tie breaks and become a champion. And this was a position you can see on the screen, and that's a total fortress. It's like knight and rook versus queen, no pawns almost besides, except for c4 and c3 one, and no chances of losing it, you would say. Maybe you wouldn't. And like many logical moves, the easiest is just to keep waiting. The king anyway cannot get closer because there will be the check, but in the game rook f4 was played, which seems like a logical attempt, but it happens sometimes in the life of the chess players when you just play a move that is logical and then you like boom realize that it's absolutely terrible because what happened right here, queen f4, knight f4, king f4, and this is absolutely losing pawn in game, and that's how you get the title at the World European at European Rapid and Blitz Championship.
But to be honest, I would say that Rubers really pressured a lot. I mean, she did go for a win. She could lose and end up like not even in top 5, as I understood before last round. And I mean, she tried to press a lot. Obviously, she was lost like even before, and Khatanishvili was playing better whole tournament in general. But then. And it's also in this moment, if we can bring it back, let's have to starting position.
I mean, who cares? But okay.
Like, I mean, no, not to this position. Excuse me, to starting of the what you were showing before, like where rook f4 was played. Yeah, right here, right. But basically, I was watching it live, and the point is that sometimes we have this problem. Obviously, they play already with seconds, and we have this like pattern that Khatanishvili she understood that she cannot let queen sacrifice on f4. And she were defending well at some points, like 10, 15, or 20 moves there. And then somehow queen f5, this kind of waiting move, makes her freeze because suddenly, I mean, she kind of lost her pattern. She paused for a while. She didn't play her typical defensive move, even though I believe probably even, right? Even I think king h3 is not using
if
here.
you're trying to say that it was a psychologically genius move, then I'll call it bullshit because, like, come on.
No. I mean, White, it's not psychological move. White is only thing he needs to do. I mean, she cannot give a draw because she never loses it, and she needs to play 50 moves at least to hope for some luck. I mean, obviously, you have to do it like with White. Everyone will do it with White.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, but it's like
anything else.
It's
like more that it's easier to understand the mistake of Black. It's not. I mean, it is obvious, right? And she understood. Like, what do you think? Before she were 20 moves avoiding this sacrifice, but somehow you had some freeze, and you allow it. Like,
I mean, such things happens, but you still like cannot understand it unless it happens in your game. It's just like, yeah, when such things at stake, everything can happen. But yeah, just a sad loss. Although, I mean, there was a boomerang back then. But okay, then in the rapid section for Georgia, it turned out to be, I mean, lucky game, I would say, because this time Alexander Kostyniuk was a sole lead, and behind it there was another Georgian player, Nino Betsiashvili, who played with the white pieces, and to get to Alexandra, she needed to win this game, and in this position, black can play almost anything, because white got pinned.
Easy.
I mean, you can play like any move, like rook c5, rook c7, just like keep waiting. And the problem of white is what? White is absolutely stuck. White cannot really move because they're pinned. Sacrificing right now doesn't work. Moving the king back and forth doesn't work. It's possible to try b6, obviously, but then the pawn will be, I mean, separate from the rest of the team, and still maybe white will have some chances to win, but it would be very difficult. And right here... Yeah.
1 second, just I heard the interview. Yeah, I mean, Vladislav want to say that here there was terrible blunder. Let's show it right now already.
Yeah, in the game g4 happened because logical move trying to fix the pawn structure, and black played it very quickly, but then after rook d5 the game was over, because after king takes d5 this is the fork, and the game is literally over.
But it's not that simple. I saw that in an interview she said that, like, let's say make some waiting move with black, let's, I don't know, almost whatever, instead of g4. Yeah, but the idea was that she wanted to provoke g4 later and like go back king c3, king b3 somehow, because the idea is that, let's say, if we position on rook with rook on c5, for example, I think with rook c5, let's try to play it. And for example, king c3, g4, king b3, just for instance, king b3, let's say you already cannot probably hold king e7 there at some point, because there will be some ideas like rook d5
but
and knight d5, let's say.
Who would play king e7 if you just can keep standing waiting?
Let's say b6, and then like, yeah, I mean, b6, probably even rook b7.
Yeah, I guess like rook b7 can be played, because if I mean, knight anyway cannot move, and then they can take and take.
Oh, that's still, but wait, rook b7, king c3, and if bishop c4, rook c4, yeah, king d6 you have even. Yeah, but I mean, there are some tricks like sacrificing exchange.
But I mean, there are tricks, but it's like, it's not that, you know, position where you have the total sense and cannot defend.
No, just because at first when I looked at it from far, it was like that the black cannot, like, I mean, white cannot progress at all, never, and there is no chance absolutely, but still there are some tricks.
And there are like very little, and with such experienced players, Alexandra, I don't think it would be a problem if you just like didn't black out and didn't miss this tiny hit. Sometimes it happens. It's like little tactics can be nasty, and everyone can blunder it, even if you like GM, not GM. Everyone is vulnerable to it. Even like Magnus sometimes loses. I recall his game against MBL during the like rapid and blitz stuff, where he just gave up a pawn for free. That all happens. Just yeah, depends.
And game versus Caruana as well, where he blundered the rook.
Yeah, like the same thing. Sometimes it happens. All right, and we move into the Tata Steel tournament, the biggest event one of the biggest events of the year. And right here, what we have, it starts, I believe, like January 16th, I don't know when the first round, maybe January 17th, and the first one is like arrival day. And right here we have almost all the top players except for top 3, Magnus, Fabiano, and Nakamura, because Vincent, Keymer, who with a miracle didn't qualify for the candidates, Arjun Erigaisi, Anish Giri, who did qualify, Praggnanandhaa, world current FIDE chess champion Gukesh, Abdusatorov, Sindarov, Hans Niemann, and the rest of the team. And I said the rest of the team, but there is a Blue Bomb who's also the candidate. Who do you think Vladimir will win? Because the tournament is very interesting. I don't know if you share my opinion, but still.
Yeah, I'm thinking, I was surprising, like I was biggest hater, but maybe I'll go with Abdusatorov even, because I mean, I would definitely, what is classical chess, I would pick Keymer, obviously, but lately his results are just bad. Praggnanandhaa terrible, Gukesh obviously not, Anish not, Erigaisi, Abdusatorov, someone between them two, and Keymer, like probably them. Sindarov not yet, Niemann obviously not, Fedosеев, I mean other people for sure not. winning this at all.
Okay,
But
Hans Niemann had like a rough flight, and he said that when the last time he had problems with the flights, he played outstandingly, and this time he hopes to repeat the same. You like do not believe him or what?
I don't. Excuse me.
Don't even know
Not at
why.
all.
But again, by the way, nobody invites him, but here he is. Complaints work. I think I would bet on Keymer because he's just stronger than everyone. Like right here, I don't know. He plays the most solid chess, and he's like the most reliable guy. You know, there are some like rock and roll guys like Erigaisi or like Praggnanandhaa and Gukesh who can also play well. Keymer is just like the most balanced player of all. And yeah, he didn't win like lately any big tournaments, but he's still like pretty strong. So if he finally, I don't know, be more consistent, he can score it. I don't think that Abdusatorov will win, even though like, yeah, he played very well in one of the tournaments. Last time there was a Praggnanandhaa Gukesh face-off. They even played a tiebreaker where Prague managed to win it. But I don't like how they play recently. Maybe this time everything will change absolutely. But yeah, I'm not so sure. Plus, like all the candidates probably saving up all their best prep for the candidates, so they will not really shoot with some, genius ideas. And yeah, Anish also historically playing very well Vaikanzea, but I don't think he will win. So yeah, I would pick anybody from top two, or a Keymer or Erigaisi. They both need to show best chess. They don't have candidates tournament upcoming, so I think that somebody of them will win. And also we have challengers tournament, but there are like no big names. This tournament is a little bit weaker, but Faustino Oro plays, Ukrainian legend Vasily Ivanchuk also plays, and the tournament, yeah, it's pretty interesting. Winner of this tournament can qualify for the master section. Last time it was Czech player Taidan Van Nguyen. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. Also pretty cool to see Erdogmus from Turkey, young talent. We actually had a video on the channel about him, and there will be a pop-up notification about it. Check it out. Pretty interesting video. But okay, for today, this is it. Comment down below what you think about this news. What are your opinions? And do you have, Vladimir, anything to say?
No, nothing else.
Okay, then goodbye. See you next episodes.
Ciao.